producers of this first cage fight are Boss Boone, Hank Capers, and Dirk Winkel. Have put a lot of work into getting this cage fight on. It's the first one ever in Holland.
So we have a pretty interesting champion fight. Eduardo Rocha from Fortaleza, Brazil, and Willie Peeters from Amsterdam, Holland. What do you think? What's your call, Bob?
Well, I'm looking for an exciting fight. I'll tell you, I think Peeters' fight's got to be standing up, and Rojas is obviously on the ground. It's going to depend on who does that better. Roja is an incredibly experienced fighter. Obviously now 134 wins, no losses. He doesn't know how to lose. But Willie Peeters has shown me a fire that no other fighter has shown me in this event.
He definitely came to fight. You can see that in his eyes.
Willie Peeters is 180 centimeters or 6 feet tall, and his opponent, Eduardo Rocha, 177 centimeters or 5'11". The weight is similar, although that edge goes to Willie Peeters. It's 95 kilos, 209 pounds, and Rocha 190 pounds. So, and obviously, Willie Peeters is a 12-time Dutch wrestling champion. So he's going to have the wrestling experience. He's shown us he can punch and kick.
Sure
This should be a very interesting matchup.
And Eduardo Rojas still has his considerate side. Boy, he picks up a magazine and throws it out of the ring. Boy, this crowd is really for Willie Peeters. Here we see Willie Peeters walking in, the Dutch flag, the crowd going crazy. This should be a good fight.
And there he is, the 12-time Dutch champion in his last final match. And let's give him all the support you can. Willie Peeters.
So Willie Peeters from Holland in the red, in the finals. 12-time Dutch wrestling champion, kickboxer, free fighter, and the bigger of the two men. And here we go for all the money. Peeters starts off just as he has before, punching and kicking.
Ooh, nice kick to the knee by Peeters.
Rojas shoots in, wants to take him down.
Well, looks like he's preparing to knee him. Oh, oh, nice hit to the head by Willie Peeters, Eduardo Rocha. Nice leg kick by Willie Peeters to Eduardo Rocha. Oh. Oh, and they go to the ring.
That's one of the few things that can stop that clock.
Oh, yeah. Willie Peeters does not look happy about that.
Well, Rojas certainly had his rush on that time.
Nice leg kick by Willie Peeters.
Oh, Rojas
nice
tries to kick
uppercut.
at his own.
Oh, little face by Rojas.
Rojas
Peeters
sticking his tongue out.
saying that didn't hurt me.
1 minute gone in the fight.
Nice uppercut.
A lot of action for 1 minute.
There they go, down to the ground.
Now Rojas on the ground, right where he says he wants to be. And Peeters, no stranger to the ground. Rojas using his legs very effectively so far.
Oh, nice shot by Peeters to the chin of Rojas. Oh, another one.
Peeters is connected pretty well with that chin right now.
Another shot. Oh, another shot, and another one. And that's it, the Brazilian tapped out. Willie Peeters is the champion. Eduardo Rocha could not take those punches. The Dutch are going crazy. Well, this is a first, my friend.
1 minute and 50 seconds, and Willie Peeters is the first man ever to defeat Eduardo Rocha 1 minute and 50 seconds, he becomes the first cage fighting champion and in his own homeland. All credit to Willie Peeters.
There's a slow-mo. Well, there we see Eduardo Rocha lying on the ground, knocked out, semi-conscious on the ground, and there's Willie Peeters giving thank yous to the crowd. It's a very good fight. And there you have it. History. History in the making. The champion is Willie Peeters. Free fighting from Holland.
Graag jullie applaus ook voor de man die de finale heeft gehaald. Eduardo Rocha. En natuurlijk gaat er een check van zo'n 20.000 Amerikaanse dollars ook naar Willie Peeters en Eduardo.
So Bob, it's been a very exciting night. I never thought I'd see this, a Brazilian tapping out from punches, but it's always a first.
Well, the fans came for action and they got it.
It's been a great night here in Emmen, Holland. The first ever European cage fight, semi-no rules, bare knuckle fights. 8-man enter, 1-man leads. And Willie Peeters, the first European fighter, the first fighter ever to defeat a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter with punches or anything. So this is a first, this is history. Well, Bob, it's been very interesting for me. I've enjoyed this very much. And
all credit to these athletes because, you know, they have to do so much training and so many different arts. And I know that Willie Peeters, there's his trainer, just to the right over there, Fred Royers, a great former Thai boxing champion.
Let's take a look at the slow-mo. We see Eduardo Rocha having him in the guard, yes? And Willie Peeters just delivering punches.
Yeah, Rocha was just never able to get a defense going against the determination, if you will, of Willie Peeters, and he was there. See, he was hitting him pretty hard on the jaw there.
I think it just shook Rocha to his core, and I think he gave up, you know. So obviously he gave up. I guess his chin was not as strong as we thought, and there you have a first one.
Well, we've got to give all the credit in the world to Willie Peeters and his trainers for coming through. The first man ever to defeat Eduardo Rocha, 134 victories, no defeats, and Willie Peeters handed him his first loss. So we're in Emmen, Holland, in the first cage fight ever produced in Holland, and this event was won by a Dutchman, so it's appropriate. We've been able to bring you this from Emmen, Holland, with a Dutch winner, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of spellbound right now. I mean, I never thought I would see that, Bob. I never thought that I would see a Brazilian give up like that, but, you know, I have to also take my hat off to Eduardo Rocha. What a great athlete. What a tough fighter. And he put up a good fight, and tonight the better man won.
Absolutely, and I give all the credit in the world to all of these fighters, Chris, because it takes a lot of guts to step in the ring. It's very easy to sit on the outside and criticize their performance, but in the end, all 8 of these fighters deserve a lot of credit. They stepped in there. It's a new sport, and clearly the best man won tonight, and it was Willie Peeters of Holland.
Absolutely. I'd just like to take 1 minute and recap all the different fighters and just send out my best to Rick Anderson, great fighter. Sean McCulley, brilliant fighter. Great training. He looked awesome. We'll see him next time. Alexander Zaleski, Bob. What do you think about that guy? Tough guy.
Absolutely, no question. We saw a lot of great fighters. Richard Anderson from Sweden getting into the semifinals against Rocha and then losing a heartbreaker. Hubert Numeric going against Willie Peeters, and again, a very tough guy, Hubert Numeric, but tonight Willie Peeters wanted it bad, and he went all the way.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you got a lot of tough guys in here tonight.
Yeah. Tim Tobex, great fighter. Hubert Numeric, great fighter from Germany. Alan Harris, great fighter. And obviously Willie Peeters, the champion tonight.
Yeah, Alan Harris, I know he felt that they shouldn't have stopped the fight, and we'd have to go back and look at that again, but he felt he could have continued.
Yeah.
But again, you know, it's going to have to be another night. Tonight, it was Willie Peeters' night.
Absolutely, it was his night. He's the man. So I guess it's Christopher Peeters and my friend Bob Wall, and we'll see you next time.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Bob Wall and Christopher Peeters from Eamon Holland, and the first cage fight ever. And we want to say to you, Huda Avut.